An enemy of productivity, scope creep. Let's talk about that today. Hey, it's JB here up at the retreat center. Give you a close look. We're a little cloudy today, but pretty beautiful out here. I figured we'd go for a little bit of a walk today and talk a little bit about scope creep and what that is. You can kind of see the stairway to heaven, we call that there. We'll come down here, down by the lake. Scope creep is a really interesting productivity area that a lot of people have issues with. First of all, what is scope creep? Well, scope creep is really an engineering term where you're working on a particular project and next thing you know it turns into 15 million projects. One of the areas that I like to talk about scope creep is with employee-employer relationships where it can really get bad. You see, if you have a really great employee and they're doing their job and you hire them to do particular things, all of a sudden you start giving them more things to do. Why would you give them more things to do? Because they're great at what they're doing. So you add tasks to what they're doing. Well, that isn't what they originally hired for, and because they're probably one of your best people, they try to do a good job at the new thing that you've asked them, but now all of a sudden they start failing, and so that's a problem. You start failing, and so with the fail, that's going to happen. They don't have the ability to take on the new tasks. So that's what scope creep is. Scope creep is when you have, you've added these extra tasks to what they're supposed to be doing. And as an employee, if you've ever been in that situation, you may have been in a situation where you've been given extra tasks and now all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, this isn't what I'm hired for. And that's what causes a lot of issues in the corporate world today, because we have this scope creep where people are really given too many things to do and they're frustrated, right? So how do we overcome corporate scope creep? Well, one of those ways to do that is to have clear expectations. And I'm talking about both ways. So if you're an employer, this isn't a job description. This is what you expect out of the person, right? This is what you want from them. And as an employee, you should always write those things down. You should have those in your notes so you know what is expected of you. So when you have a meeting and your boss comes to you and says, hey, I'm going to add these 2 things, or can you do this as a favor? You can do it, but you need to bring back that document out and say, hey, that's not what I was hired for. These are the things that I need to do. These are what my expectations are, and I'm doing well with those. If you're going to add these additional things, that's okay, but just realize that it may cause some issues in our relationship. So it's really important to understand scope creep, and it happens with everybody, even myself and my staff and my team. I end up doing this, and typically you do it to your best people. Why? Because they're getting things done and your best people get things done. So next thing you know, you're having scope creep, okay? Let's talk about another enemy of productivity, scope creep, personal scope creep. So for example, for me, I have a lot going on. We've got coaching people all over the world. I've got professional athletes. I've got corporations starting to put our planning systems into place. So there's a lot going on, and I'm a free guy. I like to hang out here and chill at the retreat center and take it easy. You can kind of see how beautiful we're getting into the good summertime here. And so I have a tendency to have a lot of different things going on. So I have to be real careful with scope creep in my life. And so you can see it here on this channel. I don't do a ton of videos because I've got so many other things going on. So if this is going to be a priority for me, then what I need to do is I need to make sure that it is part of what I'm doing, but being careful of getting too much in the metrics and the analytics where all of a sudden this thing creeps into my other parts of my business and my life where all of a sudden it's taken over. So what do you got to do? Well, that's why I wrote the book, The Sacred Six, right? The Sacred Six is about elimination. It's not about taking things on. It's actually about eliminating things. I think we all have too many things going on, and one of the things we got to do is a better job of saying no and a better job of prioritization. When you hear me talk about the 7 Ps consistently, I'm talking about really having things in the right perspective and then prioritization. Those are the first 2 Ps. Having the right perspective and then being able to prioritize every day. If you do those things, you're going to start having the ability to eliminate your own personal scope creep, which means you're just taking on way too many things. And I think many of us are having those issues with everything. So if we can just figure out how to do less and be prioritized with more, we're going to be able to get more things done. So today I just want to talk a little bit about a couple ways that scope creep can really kill productivity. First way is employer-employee relationships. Having those expectations in line are really critical. And even on a personal level, if you have your own personal expectations in place, that's important. Like if you decide to pick up guitar, realize it's going to take up some time. And realize you're probably not going to be a guitar virtuoso right away. And if you're going to do that, what are you going to give up instead of adding on to that again? So understanding that, we can start to set really good expectations, and we can focus on the things that are important to us. The employer-employee relationship is really critical that we have the expectations in place, because that's what's going to allow us to really make sure that we're both on the same page when it comes to scope creep. So scope creep, very interesting concept, but it does kill productivity. It hurts relationships, and it really can hurt yourself as far as becoming more efficient and getting more things done. All right, so having some fun today. Again, we'll flip the camera around here and you can kind of take a look. We're out here just going for a walk today. Beautiful day. We got some wind, so it's going to be interesting to see how the microphone works. If we get some, I was trying to get that flag there. There it is. A little bit of the sky there. It is a pretty day out. Kind of take a look there, but we're just coming back up to the retreat center, and we'll go up the stairs here. So any questions that you have, it would be cool to answer. We're going to do some more videos where we just kind of get out and walk and talk. We'll bring Neil out and enjoy the weather a little bit and have some fun with this. But if you got any questions as far as productivity and management and energy and just living your life, residual passive income streams, that's what we do, and have a lot of fun with that, helping companies become more productive, get more things done, helping individuals become more productive. Obviously, you can go get our free planner over at morningcoach.com. But we've really started to have this awesome community of wonderful people making a difference out there, and that's what it's about. I mean, there's enough negativity in the world that we want to put some positivity out there, do what we can do, and have some fun in the meantime. All right, so hey, thanks for checking us out here on the Morning Coach channel. You go have a great day. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this walk. Just take a nice, easy chill here today before we get some rain. It does look like we're going to get a little rain today out here in this very peaceful area at the retreat center. And hopefully one day you'll be able to come to one of our retreats. That would be really great to have you. So go have a great one, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for being a part of this.